In my opinion, the most respected games on Roblox are not the ones that do the big numbers. They're the games where you can clearly see that the developers involved actually care about their product. And one of the easiest ways to tell if a developer cares about their game is by looking at if they keep it maintained. There are so many ancient, practically dead games on Roblox that the developer is still regularly maintaining, and you can tell by seeing when it was last updated. Games like Super Blocky Ball, Blocks Hunt, and Stop It Slender are all absolute classics that many people my age will remember fondly, but not many realize are still regularly getting updates to this day. If we look at the charts today, we have so many very successful games like Plus One Jump Evolve Tower, Spin a Soccer Card, and Sword Factory Beta, but the true test for whether these are actual games that the developers care about or if they're just cash grab slop depends solely on the fact that in a year's time, are they still going to be updated regularly? And just so we're clear, a lot of these updates that these old games are doing is not them trying to stay with the times and keep players glued to their game. It's actually about just making sure the game is still playable. These developers are putting time and effort into a very small handful of nostalgic players who every time they join the game are praying that it still works. If you have a game that is popular, I believe it is your responsibility to make sure that it is still playable years and years into the future. Unfortunately, this is surprisingly easy to keep track of. Here's my update channel where I post all of the updates that I do to my showcases, and it's actually surprising to see just how much they're being updated considering that they're regular old showcases. They're nothing but builds that you walk around in. There isn't actually many gameplay aspects to them. And this is super easy to do. You just give yourself one rule. Every spring, you do some spring cleaning. Every single April or so, I will join every single one of my showcases and I'll walk around and I'll analyze absolutely everything I can. I'll check the developer console for errors, I'll check collisions, and I'll analyze every single corner of my game to find out which things don't quite look right. And then I'll make a notepad like this, and in it I'll put all of these things that I see a little bit strange and things that need to change. I'll also add to that list things that users have reported, pretty much everything that I've noticed throughout that year. And then when the time comes, I'll open up that old file in Roblox Studio and I will make all of the changes that I need to. So I thought today I would walk you through my spring cleaning session of 2026, where I go through all of my showcases and I keep them up to date, starting with Sanctuary. This is one of my oldest showcases. The build quality leaves very little to be desired. I made this one a few years ago and my build style has definitely improved since then. However, one important part of spring cleaning my showcases is that I'm not actually changing the build that much. I still want to maintain what made the showcase what it is. If I wanted to rework the showcase, remake it, I'd make a separate game for it and call it a Sanctuary Remake. Essentially, I want to preserve the originality of this showcase the best that I can. The changes that I do make are to help the players remember the good parts of the showcase. And the first thing I want to change is the color of the chandelier here. This showcase has gone through many different lighting changes over the years, and then the lighting changed, but I didn't change the colors of the build. And so some things like this chandelier don't look gold, they look more like a very fake brass. And so that needs to change straight away. I'm thinking a better, more golden color would look something like this. Actually, maybe it's a little bit too orange. There, how about that? That looks far more gold than this. Okay, so the chandelier has now been recolored to something that I think looks a lot more like gold. I also changed the gold on some of these lights as well because that was also a little bit too yellow. In fact, here's another one that needs to change. So next is something that I want to change, but I don't know if I'll actually be able to, but we'll see. My wonderful friend Trip Trap scripted these candles that turn on when you click them. However, I'd quite like for them to be on by default, And I'm hoping that that's just as simple as finding the script and changing one word. If I change enabled to true, maybe it'll work. No, it did not work. In fact, now it doesn't work at all. Okay, we are not playing with that. False. You would probably kill me if I showed you this script, by the way. This is 3 years old. The next thing I want to do is change the transparency of these screens here. I have a version where it is transparent, so I'm hoping it's just as simple as replacing the surface appearance. So we copy the surface appearance, get the screens, Control-Shift-V. Can only be partnered with mesh parts. Oh wait, I wasn't selecting it. So that's another change that I wanted. A very subtle one, but I think it does improve the quality a little bit. That's all the major changes I really wanted with Sanctuary. The only thing left is to change the watermark, which shows my old username. So let's go into Photoshop. Showcase by HollyHollers. And then the font is this one. We export it, then let's upload it to Roblox. Let's see if I can remember how to actually change the watermark. Starter GUI? I don't know which one it is. I think it's this one. No, I'm so confused. My credit isn't in the Starter GUI. Where the hell is it? What? It's in Commander. Oh, that's so confusing. Whatever. Okay, the UI has been changed. Hopefully scaled correctly as well. So now it's time to publish. Very good, and then I'll write up the change logs in my Discord server and we can move on to the next showcase. So we're in Renault, which is my favorite showcase that I've ever made. And we do have more things we need to fix in this one. However, they are a lot more easy to do than having to manually clean up a chandelier. First of all, it always bothered me that the key house wall in here is pretty empty. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually just copying and pasting this thing here across the entire key house wall. Here we go. For some reason, I just think this looks better. Next, and this might be nitpicking, but for some reason, this cleaning product down here really bothered me in the scullery. It's way too reflective, and so it really kind of just stands out to your eye. And hopefully it's just as simple as changing the texture underneath to brick. I mean, yeah, that definitely looks much better. The same thing needs to happen with these lights up here. They seem really metallic and shiny, and they really shouldn't be. This is definitely plastic. So I'm just going to change all of these to the brick texture as well. There we go. It just looks better. It makes more sense, I think. So in the attic, we have these pieces of furniture, which are meant to be metallic, but I made them glass and I thought it would look better, but it really doesn't look like metal at all. And so I'm going to change all of these to this color here. There we go. That white just stands out a lot less now. Finally, and this one has been bothering me for a while. For some reason, the wood texture on this ladder has just decided to go kaput. No idea what happened there. It used to be a wood color called yew, but for some reason, it's decided it doesn't want to exist anymore. So I'm just going to bin it all together and I'm going to find a different wood texture instead. Yeah, I like this one, and then we'll change the color of it. There we go. There, and hopefully that should stop erroring in the output as well. Another thing, I don't know how I missed this, but on the curved staircase down here, for some reason, I didn't end up doing this little piece of wood here. No clue why, honestly, but there we go. That's a very, very easy fix. I even managed to do it on this side, so I don't know what went wrong here. And then the final thing I want to do for Renault is just darken the chains on this wind chime. I feel like the white parts are just too white. It's a really nitpicky one, I know, but it just bothers me. So if we darken it to, I think here, I think that'll just look much better and it won't become an eyesore as much. There, what do you think? It's less light, so it doesn't kind of violently shine this white in your face. I don't know, I think it looks so much better like this. Oh, and one more thing, I need to change the watermark as well. And hopefully the watermark should be in a more reasonable place. Hopefully in Starter GUI, please. Yes, it is. Okay, right. That makes things so much more easy. Let's upload our new watermark. Right, well, everything that I've needed to do for this one has been done, I think. So let's publish this. Well then, that's Rennet Hilt spring cleaned. On to the next one. Sixth stop, our Residents Spirited Away showcase. I really like this one, and I feel like it's a very big underdog because nobody else seems to. First thing I want to do is change the texture of the cottage house. I absolutely love this texture that it's using, but it's for some reason gridded and not organic. Like if I go to the back, you can see where the textures keep repeating over and over, and it's just really ugly. And that's very easy to fix. We go to the grime sand texture and we simply change it from regular to organic, and just like that, it's fixed the problem. Super easy fix, looks amazing now, none of the textures repeat. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. And also, this is a bit of a tradition for this showcase, but I absolutely love to change the position of the horse. Pretty much anytime I update this showcase, I like to move the horse about. Why? I have no idea. But today I fancy having it so he's sitting nicely in his cozy little straw that we've got set down for him. There is also a sound part near him as well, and this is the noises that the horse makes, so I'm also going to move that underneath the horse as well. So he's still making those noises, just in a different spot. Next, and this is also hella nitpicking, the wooden beams on this cottage are just way too uniform and have no variation to them, so I'm just going to rotate a bunch of them. Now another thing, and this might be weird, I don't know, but I want to actually make it so the door here is slightly ajar. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that this door can actually be entered, and I feel like if I make it so the door is a little bit ajar, it might help people realize that actually you can enter this room. So if I open it up like that, I also like how it makes some light come in as well. I don't know, I think this looks better. And this might be a weird one, but sometimes the furniture in here feels a little bit too glossy. Like, I think that's kind of weird, and that's so easy to fix. We just get rid of the roughness map, and just like that, it looks so much better. This staircase here could also use some variation. A lot of these textures just feel way too repeated, and I do not like it. Now this is one that has bothered me for absolutely ages. The textures on this table aren't correct. This should not look like this. Luckily, I have a version with the correct textures on it. And so let's replace this. Oh, it's so embarrassing. There we go, improved textures. And the final thing I want to do, maybe this is weird, I don't like that there isn't a normal map on these carpets hanging up over here. And that's super easy to fix again. We just get a fabric normal map. So if I search up fabric, we can pick one of these fabrics to use. I think this one will look best. Copy the normal map and we paste it into here. And just like that, we have a normal map. And that's pretty much everything we have to do for 6th stop. We just need to change the watermark now. Showcase by HollyHollers, that's me. Wonderful stuff. We have now published it to 6th stop. We have another showcase that has got its spring cleaning done, which means we only have 3 left. Moving on to Wonderful Renee. I love this one so much. It's very British, just like me. And one big thing that I want to do with Renee is add a wind chime sound to this wind chime here. For some reason I just never got around to doing it, and that's a real shame. For those who don't know, every single sound in Renee is made with sound parts. There isn't any ambient noise other than the music. I'm going to change the sound of this to wind chime. And then we're going to have to go on the marketplace and find a wind chime sound. So I found this one, which sounds really nice. And I think this is the one that we're going to use. Let's see if we can hear it. Yeah, that sounds really good. So there are a couple other things that we need to do as well. These banana plants here have always bothered me. I've always thought that they were way too green, and we need to neutralize it with the opposite color. We make this a little bit more purple. That looks much more neutralized and happy, and I want to do it with this banana plant as well because it is just way too green, and I think that looks much better. I've always thought these plants here were too green, but honestly I don't want to change this showcase too much, so I'm just going to adjust the most offensive of those plants, I think. Next up, in the original reference I used for this greenhouse, the red walls were much darker. In these ones they are very, very bright, and I don't like them, so we're going to make them darker and a little more vibrant as well. I'd say like this. That looks so much more accurate to the reference, I think. So I'm going to transfer this to all of these as well. Also, I can't believe I didn't notice this. Look, there's a little art frame that's Z-fighting here. Oh my goodness, that is embarrassing. Get rid of that. Another thing that I want to do, and this might be a really weird one, but for some reason, it's kind of bothered me how when you're in the greenhouse, the sky looks really dark in here. And that's because I used black glass instead of white glass. Like if I make this white, you can see it looks so much lighter. I thought the black glass looks better, but honestly, I don't think it does anymore. So I'm going to change all of these to white. Let there be a light. I don't know, I just think it looks much nicer now. And as usual, the only thing that's left to do now is change the watermark. Another showcase spring cleaned. Alright, 2 showcases left, on to the next one. Pressure 1899 is luckily very straightforward. This one's one of my newest, it's pretty much perfect. The only thing that I need to change is the watermark, and because I'm normal, it's in the screen GUI. There, that's literally all I need to do for this one, so let's publish it. The final showcase to spring clean was Prussia 1900, the spring version of the previous showcase. But unfortunately I ran out of disk space to record it because I'm the worst YouTuber ever. The watermark didn't need changing, so I went straight to changing up the collisions. You used to be able to climb the window and then jump over the ceiling to escape to the outside. As funny as this was, it had to go, so I tweaked the ceiling collisions so you can no longer jump through them. I also changed the color of the ceiling slightly. Someone complained that it felt a little too white, and they were right, to be honest. I made it a little more cream. I also did the same thing with some trees outside that appeared a little bit too pale. Finally, I added some slight nature sounds near the window to make the showcase feel a little more alive, and the spring cleaning was complete. That has been me spring cleaning all of my showcases. They are now all completely up to date. I've done update logs for them, I've play tested them, everything is good from what I've seen. And so, if you haven't played any of my showcases for a while and want to give them another go, they're all up to date. The bugs more or less have been fixed, some things have been added and changed for your viewing experience, and all I can do now is thank my super duper amazing YouTube members for all of their wonderful support. We've had a couple new people join, so shout out to you guys, thank you very much. And yeah, I hope that your spring so far is going absolutely wonderfully. I hope that you're continuing to be kind to those around you. And yeah, I've been HollyHollers, and I will see you next week. Goodbye, friends.